What if characters have been a staple of the Dragon Ball franchise for a few, not even a few years, a couple of decades now, it feels like. And in today's video, I want to go over some potential options that Dokkan could potentially do for what if characters, just kind of discussing what I think, how they would impact the game, how fun they would be, and keep in mind that these are all not going to be like, you know, realistic or coming anytime soon, but I do think these are options that could be super, super fun. Now, we're going to be using references from other games, you know, other collaborations, IPs within Dragon Ball, and then kind of tying these together to how Dokkan could potentially do them and what they would be doing for buffs. So like I said, keep in mind, this isn't official or anything. These are just some of my ideas, stuff to speculate on while we wait for part 2 of Golden Week. So let me know down below what if units you want. Do you like the ones that I picked? Are these the ones that you thought of, and all that fun stuff? And if you do enjoy today's video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you are new, if you want daily Dokkan content. We upload every single day on this channel. So let's go ahead and get into the first one, and this is going to be coming from Dragon Ball Legends. For those of you who are familiar with Dragon Ball Legends, I'm sure you know where I am going with this, but we're going to be starting off with Goku and Bardock from a fight against Frieza, if you will, right? So what Legends did was Goku and Bardock ended up warped into like the same dimension fighting Frieza, and then they worked together, and then they kind of took references from the summon animations within the game of Dragon Ball Legends and kind of put them into an LF that they did for part 2 of the Legends Festival. Think of that as like the worldwide download celebration for Dokkan, where it's not the anniversary, but it's essentially the next biggest thing. Now, Goku and Bardock would be a really fun character because the Goku family team would be getting a big buff, pure Saiyans, maybe potentially they could transform into Super Saiyans, and then the Super Saiyan teams would be getting a big buff, maybe like Battle of Fate, Joined Forces, all that kind of fun stuff. These would be categories that are getting huge buffs from this type of unit, and I think all in all, it would be a super fun character for the game to have. You know, Bardock doesn't have the most love in this game. Like, if we just go to cards, and y'all are gonna hear my keyboard, but if we just do this really quickly, it's like we have a lot of Bardocks, but like when we look at the good Bardocks, it's like, what do you see here, right? Especially in terms of like 9th anniversary content, it's like AGL Bardock you can kind of get away with, but barely. And then Bardock and Guinea are obviously a good sub EZA. But nothing too crazy, right? So just looking at Bardock, I think a Goku and Bardock could potentially be a very good unit to kind of tie those two together, and it would really make for just a fun character all in all. You know, Goku and Bardock is like a cool what if, like, you know, up until like the Super manga, like Goku would always just treat Grandpa Gohan as his father, right? And he still kind of does throughout the series, right? Where it's like, you know, maybe biologically he's not, but to Goku that doesn't matter, right? Because like he never wishes or like has a desire to meet his real dad, quote unquote, because that was always just Grandpa Gohan to him, right? So it didn't really make a difference to him, but like kind of meeting Bardock, it's like, oh, this guy looks just like me. And then, you know, the manga kind of did tie things together up a little bit, but how much you actually deem of that is just up to the person, because obviously you guys know that like most of it these days was not written by Toriyama, may he rest in peace, but you know, Toyo Taro kind of works with the manga. So Goku and Bardock as the first kind of unit. Let's go ahead and move on to the second one, which I'm sure a lot of people have clammed for as well, and that is Broly, Z Broly, and Super Broly. Now, I'm sure you can tie the parallels. It's almost like they're the same character, right? So this would be a super fun one with like movie bosses, Pure Saiyan, Super Saiyan, all that kind of fun stuff, maybe even power beyond Super Saiyan. Broly is a badass. I prefer Z Broly to Super Broly. If you disagree, then that's fine. But I think Z Broly and Super Broly together would be a super fun character, because I'm sure most of you guys know that Broly's a heavy hitter, right? You know, people kind of, I think, downplay him because his units sometimes come out a little bit disappointing, but Broly is one of the higher terms of, like, if you want a character that sells well, and I know this doesn't really matter to, like, the players, like, I'm going to quote Twitter here, but, like, players care more about that than the business does, it seems like, right? What characters sell well. But Broly, he's a heavy hitter. There's no working around that. Broly is one of the most popular and most iconic characters in the franchise, and I think combining two of them would work for an absolute banger of a release. So 2 Brolys, I think this would be a lot of fun, because what's better than 1 Broly? 2 Brolys. So Z Broly, Super Broly working together, kind of the combination of different characters. Maybe we get like an active skill with them interacting where, you know, you have the more human side of Broly and the super side, and then, you know, the Z Broly side is being an absolute demon, an absolute menace. I think these two would really kind of coincide well together with like the Joined Forces category. We have like Pure Saiyan, Super Saiyan, kind of similar to what Goku and Bardock would be if they transformed, but this character would be on the extreme side of things, which would help a little bit more. So hopefully this character would be a big buff to, you know, Extreme, who obviously needs it really bad, because I'm sure you guys know at this point that Extreme is you know, not in the best state it's ever been, but hey, the Majin Power team lately has been seeing some huge buffs, so potentially we could see something like that for movie bosses or something like that with this Broly. So let's go ahead and move on to the next one. We're going to be staying in the collaborative forces of the Wicked Bloodline, or with the joined forces of the same characters. This isn't the greatest picture in the world, but it still conveys what I'm trying to get at. A Frieza and Cooler unit I think would be absolutely sick. Wicked Bloodline certainly needs the help. If we want to pull up the Wicked Bloodline team while we're here, we can go over here. I should have pulled this up ahead of time. You know, I always do this, like take a shot every time I say I should have pulled this up ahead of time, but most malevolent clan over on the JP side of things. But the Wicked Bloodline, you can see right here, this is a team in dire need of help at this point. The newest unit on the team, if we're excluding TUR, or the newest LR is Metal Cooler, and then the newest TUR is this version of Frieza right here. Or we can count Chilled, but I'm not going to. So, like, this Frieza needs help, and clearly this team has been in a better state. So, I think Frieza and Cooler would be really good for this team. You know, Terrifying Conquerors, Transformation Boost, no, I don't know if I would put this on definitely not Dragon Ball Seekers, because Cooler wasn't seeking the Dragon Balls, right? So, like, that wouldn't really work for this specific unit, but I think all in all, like, Frieza and Cooler, this is a team up that people have been wanting for years. I know you guys have seen the cope for Cooler to return in Super, because Broly did, just because, like, you know, Frieza and Cooler obviously working together would be just a crazy funny team up, just because I feel like they would have like that Goku and Vegeta sort of energy to them where they wouldn't really ever get along. And this game isn't really about character interaction, but like it could be a fun active skill, right, where they're like arguing and stuff like that. And maybe it could be like some type of exchange where they want to just like one person wants to, or one of the brothers wants to be the one that's in the fight right now, and then like the exchange is them arguing or something, and then like Cooler takes over or Frieza takes over. I think that could be potentially a really fun character. And just like, who doesn't love Cooler, right? He's Frieza's brother. Frieza no brother, right? Like, it's who doesn't love Cooler, right? So Frieza and Cooler working together, that would be the next character. For the next one, I'm gonna go ahead and talk about this one now, because the last one is going to be the thumbnail of today's video. Goku and future Gohan. Now, this is kind of an interesting team up, and we saw this in Xenoverse 2, so we've seen this in action, right? Now, like a more modern version of the father-son Kamehameha, this would be an absolutely insane moment. Like, people love future Gohan. Not my favorite character in the world, but I know people are huge fans of the design for future Gohan, because there's this obsession with him being like more combative and more of a fighter, you know, fighting for his life and stuff like that against the androids, where he just lives in this timeline where things are dire, but it's okay because Gohan looks badass, right? Like, God forbid he is what he wants to be. But you know, future Gohan, obviously a very cool character, and then him working alongside a more modern version of Goku from the Super timeline would be something really cool. And then kind of doing like another version of the father-son Kamehameha, where obviously Goku is the stronger of the two, but still has that belief in Gohan and this different version, or this different iteration of himself. That would be really fun. I feel like they could do a good job with like an emotional sort of active skill. You know, we've seen something like what they did with the double father-son special beam cannon with LR Future Gohan. And we already have had a what if character with LR Future Gohan, right? Because STR Future Gohan, his active skill essentially is like, what if Future Gohan took out the androids, right? He didn't lose to the androids on that day. That's essentially what we're going for with that character. That's the vibe that I took from it, and if I'm wrong on that, you can correct me down below. But I think that this right here would be a super cool and unique animation that, you know, you can't really that you could easily have a source reference to, because it's like, you know, this was a whole arc in Xenoverse 2, right? There was cutscenes with this. Obviously they wouldn't go one for one, but you'd be able to pull from Xenoverse 2, and you'd be able to have a really cool looking LR. So future Gohan and Super Saiyan Blue Goku, a very easy one. Now let's get into the last one. Now, this is where they could get creative, right? There's a lot of iterations of Gogeta and Vegito that we could pull from, courtesy of Spray Yena on Twitter, I believe. I'm sorry if I got that wrong. Gogeta and Vegito from Super Dragon Ball Heroes, right? This is a card. Gogeta and Vegito is something that Heroes could easily, like, you know, I don't think this should be a Heroes unit, but I think this should just all in all be like a Dokkan Festival LR. This should be an anniversary unit. Probably the two heaviest hitters in the franchise right here, Gogeta and Vegito, combined into one unit. And then I don't know what the other counterpart would be to this, but like, you could get away with like a 10th anniversary with one LR as the headliner, and if it was this, I firmly believe that everyone would be okay with that if it was just one LR that was Gogeta and Vegito. It would be a little bit disappointing in terms of the amount of characters that they're doing, but this is like the one character where they could do this and get away with it and people wouldn't be pissed, I think. Like, Gogeta and Vegito would be an awesome combination, right? I think I think Super Gogeta and Super Vegito would be kind of like the first version I'd like to see of this, considering we have modern versions of Gogeta Blue and Vegito Blue at the moment with the worldwide unit from 2023, and then obviously the 9th year anniversary LR for Gogeta Blue. I think that this would be a super fun character to have, and obviously would be as hype as it gets. I mean, Gogeta and Vegito in the same card, like, or same unit, you know, it doesn't get much better than that. So let me know down below what you guys thought of my what if characters. Just to quickly recap the list, we had Goku and Bardock from Legends, we had Super Broly and Z Broly working together, we had Cooler and Frieza working together, we had the source material for Xenoverse 2 for Future Gohan and Super Saiyan Blue Goku, and then lastly we had Super Gogeta, Super Vegito, Gogeta Blue, Vegito Blue, all that fun stuff. Now, if you did enjoy today's video, like I said, leave a like down below and subscribe if you are new, if you are interested in daily Dokkan content. We try and upload every single day around here. So thank you guys for watching. If you want to stay tuned for the member shoutouts, please do. But thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Big thank you to all of my channel members: Rylick, James, Macker, Static, White T, Steve, Anto, Wet Towelettes, The Demon, someone changed their name, Wanix, Joao, Shafted, Ashish, Scar, James, and Rao. Big thank you to those of you who further support the channel, and if you are interested in becoming a channel member below and want to have a shout out in future videos, consider clicking the link in the description to further support me. So thank you guys for watching, like I said, and I'll see you all next time.